Hi everyone, welcome back to Daily Freddo. I am going to react to some painfully cringe moments from the H3 podcast with Pearl Davies from the Pearly Things. Pearl is everywhere right now, podcasts, TV, our social media feed, and she's also being labeled as a female Andrew Tate. I saw some of her content before, but I found it irritating to watch. But I did watch the whole podcast she did with Ethan from H3. It took me 3 days to get through it. Don't worry guys, today we will just watch some clips from it. I won't make you suffer too much, but you will suffer. Very quickly, few things about Pearl you should know before we start. Hannah Pearl Davies, who professionally goes by Pearl, has amassed millions of followers after her self-proclaimed anti-feminist remarks have gone viral on Twitter and TikTok. Davies, 26, has been compared to Andrew Tate, a former British Big Brother contestant. As her audience has exploded in recent months, others who are getting introduced to her controversial points of view, including it's woman's fault if her male partner cheats. That is 99.999% woman's fault if she's unmarried and pregnant. Through viral videos, can't help but wonder how she got to have this huge platform. So her most controversial views include women shouldn't be able to vote, divorce should be banned, slavery wasn't as bad as people say, it was embellished, woman should be a young virgin when getting married, and many more. But is she able to defend her views? Let us see. Here is a clip of Pearl saying divorce should be banned.
Child support, alimony, I'm not really a fan of those.
If there's a divorce,
actually, I think we should ban divorce too. Yeah, I think that should be banned.
That's a little bit silly. You have to acknowledge that, right?
No. I would say ban divorce.
But if the relationship is physically abusive.
If it's one-sided, physically abusive, okay, fine, divorce. We can allow divorce for those exceptions, but
okay.
I just say stay out of marriage. The majority of divorces nowadays, it's just, when the girl just feels like leaving.
That's not true.
It's
just not true.
And I've talked to hundreds of women on my show.
That's just, that doesn't prove anything.
And
approximately 25% of divorces in the United States involve domestic violence.
Right, but again, that's because the woman says that she was, because they're incentive
but
programs.
you're just saying stuff. You're just saying stuff. You don't actually know that to be true. You're saying women are lying about violence, and I haven't seen you be able to prove that.
I'm saying
that's something that keeps happening through the whole podcast. Pearl is just saying stuff. No facts, no actual knowledge, no one good rebuttal during the whole thing. A lot of sighs and mm-hms. She was so completely unprepared and couldn't defend one argument. Let's also remember that she has never been married, does not have children, yet she paints herself as an expert in what men want and what marriage should be like. So what is my opinion? You should never be forced by law to stay married to someone who is not a good partner to you. Relationships are complicated and do need constant work, and there will be ups and downs. So when you enter a marriage, you do need to be prepared for that. Some comments said, exactly, Pearl is just saying stuff to get a rise out of people. Yep, the shock value. It sells, and she seems very ruthless about it too. I saw some clips of her actually sounding very eloquent, and some of the things she said in the past made sense. But I think she realized that those extreme statements, this pick-me persona, just gives her more clout. Another comment says she still thinks if two people are actively each other, they should stay together. Oh yes. During the podcast, she mentions multiple times that she would allow divorce only if it was one-sided. So for the kids of some violent married couple, it's better to keep the marriage going as long as they equally beat the crap out of each other. That's why I'm saying that half the time this woman doesn't make sense or just says things to shock us. So let's see another clip of Pearl stating that women shouldn't have a right to vote.
You don't think women should get the right to vote?
No, I don't.
Why?
No. Because men are signed up for selective service. If feminists want the right to vote, it should come with the draft. Where are the feminists fighting for equality in this situation?
Feminists actually, they want the draft abolished. There should be no draft, so men and women shouldn't be drafted. That is also equality, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I've never heard him talk about that, but
do you listen to a lot of feminist ideology? Do you read books? Do you listen to lectures? Do you listen to a lot of that stuff?
So I talk to feminists all the time.
Right. I haven't seen you talk to an actual scholar once. You just talk to kind of random women.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that's fair to say. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you say you talk to feminists, you just mean like random women off the street. Not like a scholar.
That say they're feminists.
So, Pearl, what will the right to vote be based on then, if there won't be any selective service for men or women? And again, she could not defend whatever she was saying. There was no substance behind her words. I love a good debate. Even if someone is wrong or simply has different views, I love to see what's behind it, what research they do, what studies they read. Here are some comments. Like, why does she keep getting herself into these situations? I don't know. She's such a grifter though, like, no, I don't, while nodding her head yes. And another one, I don't get it, what's the correlation between fighting in the army and voting for your local mayor or something? Let's ask Pearl. We will not know anyway. So here is another clip of Pearl struggling to put together a sentence.
No, I think it's more so for women pick violent men more than men pick violent women.
Based on what?
I think you can just I would just say, I would guess that it's more common with women.
Come on! Why not to prepare yourself? Why not to have a laptop in front of you with some studies supporting your claims? The internet is like so easy to use, okay? No matter what you say, no matter what opinion you have, you will find something on the internet that supports it. There will be something that will validate what you are saying, no matter how dumb it may be. One user said, how is she not prepared to elaborate on anything? Like, she's so surprised every time she's asked to explain herself. Another one, the amount of long side she does in this interview is so hilarious. And another one, me interviewing for a job I don't actually want. But let's see more clips. I told you you will suffer. There was a moment in the podcast where she was trying to disprove some data by not providing any sufficient arguments. Again, have a look.
They're saying that number's inflated.
Who's saying? They didn't say that. What you read did not say it's inflated.
No, I said also that 12% number they're giving you is highly inflated.
Based on what? Because what you just read to me doesn't disprove what I said at all. It actually makes perfect sense.
No, but they're saying it's inflated. I don't know.
They did not say that.
Who's they?
Yeah, they didn't say that. So here,
Who's they?
It's just someone I do research with.
So just someone.
Yeah.
that's good. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Don't push, right?
Don't push. One user commented, never heard someone get so audibly winded after being asked the easiest questions. Another one, her constant exhaling is unbearable. Yeah, she's known for her dating podcast, which is very similar in nature to the Whatever podcast. Essentially, the usual guests are women who earn living on OnlyFans, who are maybe less eloquent, and so on. When surrounding herself with women like that, Pearl kind of tricked her audience into thinking she was incredibly based, smart, and reasonable. It was a good strategy for her, I must say, since her YouTube channel now has about 1.5 million subscribers. Here is Pearl claiming slavery was blown out of proportion or was over-embellished. And when she can't support her argument again, she literally quits the podcast.
So do you agree with that premise that slavery was embellished?
There are parts that are under-embellished and there are parts that are over-embellished. I think it just depends what we're talking about.
That's so interesting. I've got to know what was over-embellished about slavery.
I mean, I was talking about a book that I read. Thomas Sowell talks about how the guy that made Roots talked about how it was a myth for his people to live by.
You know, myth doesn't necessarily mean it's a lie.
And that doesn't mean the way it's depicted in the movie was how it actually happened.
Thomas Sowell compared Barack Obama to Adolf. Do you like that analogy?
But he wrote like 100 books.
You also said George Washington was viewed from his slaves like a father.
That was from a Thomas Sowell book.
So he's your guy. Thomas Sowell's the man. Thomas Sowell wrote a column about supporting segregation in public schools.
Like, you want me to talk about every single one of this man's opinions?
47 of George Washington's slaves tried to escape. Would you try to escape if you loved your master?
maybe that one was wrong. I was quoting a book.
So do you agree with his statement, though?
Do I think overall it was embellished? Some parts, sure.
There it is. Which parts?
Some parts.
No, please tell me which parts. Tell me.
I think that certain slaves had good relationships with their owners. Not all, maybe not most, but I think some did. You guys act just like Abba and Preach.
Like, there's been a whole diverse.
Thank you. I really appreciate you having me on, but I'm gonna go. Thank you.
George.
And and she was gone. Someone commented, good relationships with their owners is such a wild sentence. Yep, if you make a controversial statement like that, you better have some good argument backing it up. Anything. Let's watch some more. Here Pearl was saying that according to men, women over the age of 25-26 had lower value. So then Ethan asks her this.
So what value do you think you'll be settling on in your own personal life?
What value will I be settling on in my personal?
What man do you think is reasonable for you to pursue?
I think that's a bit of a inappropriate question. But
that's interesting because you spend all day talking about this stuff.
I'm just curious how women rate themselves, and then I'm gonna have the women rate each other too.
I mean, you can go online and have people rate your pictures, and they rank you 1 to 10.
Is Lizzo gonna be a 10 anywhere? I mean, I have common sense.
I think that's where you get.
I find that it's really interesting to have you put this analysis into use. Why is it inappropriate?
Because the way you're framing the question is a bit disingenuous.
How?
I think most women
how is it disingenuous?
I think it's a bit disingenuous.
Why?
Okay.
Why is it disingenuous? I'm analyzing your viability by your own metrics, which you do all day to other women and men. Why is that disingenuous?
I don't. Okay.
I think it's fair to say, because you were talking to women about expectations and men about expectations based on their value. I think it's fair to say, okay, well, what's your value of man you're looking for based on your own?
What's my value to a guy that I'm looking for?
No. What value of man?
I wish I don't know what you want me to say.
Your value by your own metrics is going to be not super high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you start in a certain place in life, but all you can do is improve and get better.
That's interesting. I agree. So what is the point of telling people that they're almost damaged goods or getting worse and worse?
The sighing. Someone said she's even tired of herself. I think we're all tired now. It's enough of Pearl for one episode. It really seems to me that she just says things for the guys to like her, for men to be like, she's so cool, she gets us. So she doesn't necessarily truly believe the things she says, but maybe she just thinks stating such extreme opinions will make her seem cooler. This is the impression I get. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And check out some of my other videos right here, and of course subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications to never miss any daily Freddo episodes. That's all for today. Have a good one.
So when you say you talk to feminists, you just mean random women off the street?
That say they're feminists.